Beneath the crumbling stone walls, under the flicker of a lone gaslight, the cellar of Stormcrow Mansion waits. Somewhere between the streets of Gotham and the darkened halls of Hogwarts, secrets linger in the shadows. Here, heroes and villains alike could cross paths, a duel of magic or a fight in the gloom. You decide. But for now, there's just one problem. It's all grey plastic. And that's where I come in. My friend Chris, a long-time board game collector, has backed more miniature Kickstarter games than I can count. Batman, Harry Potter, you name it, he's probably got it. Now he's printing terrain worthy of them. The Stormcrow Mansion by Stormcrow Scenery. While I was buried in other projects, Chris quietly printed the entire basement level. An absolutely stunning gothic dungeon, perfect for converting the 2D boards for his figures into 3D environments and ideal for any 28mm skirmish or RPG games. And then he gave me the challenge. Could I maybe paint it in under an hour? The STL files printed beautifully with only one failure, and that was because the printer ran out of filament. It's packed with detail, and there are still some bits on the printer as I speak. Wall inserts, window pieces, but I couldn't resist diving straight into the paint. Before I started, I wanted to see the whole thing together, to get a sense of scale and decide on the colours. And yeah, it's huge. And now we can see what we're painting. Let's take it outside and make a start. Right, time is running. Let's see if we can really pull this off. So the key thing here is making sure we get a really good coat of black on. So if I miss any of the other colours, there's some paint on there which covers up the grey. So one of the other things to bear in mind is because it's printed in grey, even if I don't hit every single bit of the grey, it's still going to look good. So when you print in white, what you find is you spend a lot more paint actually getting your undercoat on, which is why I like it when they print in grey and black, or brown. Brown's good too. Right, so here we go. Just going to have to crack through this as fast as we can. A bit awkward with some of these pieces because we can't get the can at the right angle, but we'll do our best. Important with the black that we're spraying from below because we're low lighting it right now. We're going to hit it from above with other colours, so that's when we'll put some highlights on. That's the end of that can. Here we go, next one. It's great that the piece is split into parts because it means I can get inside the arches, I can get below the level of the bricks with this undercoat, making it a lot easier to paint. Another one gone. Okay, so now we want to use some of these other colours, and I think I'm going to start with some Mechanicus grey before I do anything else. Let's put that black away now. Just put a bit more there. Right. Oh, Mechanicus grey. There we go. Give it a bit of a dust.
with this from this side. Okay, we're starting to see some texture come out now. So the outside walls are going to be done with Zandri dust. So I might just pop a little bit of brown on those before I go any further, just so we start to get a feel of how it's all going to come together. There we go. By going at a fairly low angle, we don't go inside. And so that's what we're trying to achieve. There we go. That'll do for now. So I think we want to put some texture on this now. So we're going to use this sponge. We're going to see how we get on. Just clean this glove so we don't make a mess. There we go, we can see some really nice texture on there now. And I wonder what it's going to look like on there. It's going to look good, I think. So we're going to texture the whole thing up with this. This is going to give us that underlying look that we need for the whole thing. So using the sponge like this, it's like dry brushing, and it all happens so fast. I mean, I've just textured that piece in really less than a minute. Really happy with that effect. Let's get some more paint out. There we go. I'm just carefully putting a bit onto the sponge rather than overloading it, just to stop it from maxing out the colour. But even little accidents where you do put too much, it's not going to be a problem, because we've still got a few layers of other colour to go on here yet. Being quite bold with this sponging is really going to help accentuate what we do on top, what we do next. You can see the way they've designed this. Some of these bricks really stand out on the walls, and it's making it so easy for me to make it look good. It's just taking the sponge, it's taking the dry brush so effectively with minimal amount of effort. Hats off to these guys for the way they sculpted it. It's really good. Right then, this bit and then the last bit. Apparently this goes under the conservatory. I'm going to look forward to seeing that piece. I'm hoping it's going to have some excellent glazing. Might be a bit of scratch building to do to get that to come to life, but it's going to be good fun. And the stairs at the back, and we're done. So we just need to decide now, does it need any more sponge, or do we just hit it with some more spray? Let's have a look. It's looking half decent already. So you can see how bright it is, but if you're careful, you can get your verdigreed effect, your mouldy, mossy effect very quickly with just a few squirts. You just have to be super careful not to put too much on, because if you do, you're going to end up with a very green mansion very, very quickly. Very careful with that. There we go. And we'll put a little bit inside as well. As I say, we're going to cover this up with a bit of Death Guard green, and then some of our other colours on top, starting to give it that pallid, manky hue that old buildings get when they're left alone. Now I'm going to try this, same sort of thing. Right. Not much colour coming out now. Right, that's done. If you don't use some of these other colours, if you just use grey, everything's going to look lifeless. It's going to end up very flat, very dull, very boring. I'm just softening up some of the harsher bits of the sponging where I went in a bit too hard. But in all honesty, as I spray this on, it's just blending together and it's starting to look really nice. Okay, I think we're ready to finish the outside walls now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Zandri dust. See if this is going. So I'm going to go from above, like so, just to hit the top edges, hopefully. I'm not going to use too much because there's quite a lot of other colours on here already. Get these balustrades, just enough. There we go. I think they look pretty good. Just there. So now I'm going to have a think about what we're going to do inside of it. So I think we're going to soften everything up with a bit more Mechanicus grey before we go any further. Here we go. There's a couple of areas in there that are a little bit too sharp still where I've sponged it. I just want to soften that down a bit. Wanted some of my slabs to be this colour, so there we go. We're hitting that now. Looks great. Use the steps at the back. There you go. I can put a bit more sandy dust on the back there. Just do that if I can. Probably would be easier with the airbrush, but I'm going to do it without. I want to help make the inside feel a lot cooler, so I'm going to use some of this dark blue. I want the inside and the outside to feel like they're different colours. Let's have a look in here. There we go. Right, I think we're close. I think we're close to finishing. Going to put some highlights on the outside now. Then I'll decide if I need to do any more inside. Still think we could put a bit more green inside. I think that's worked really well. Right, let's risk it. It's going to pop a bit more of this green. Going to have to take some of that down with this. Get a bit hard there. It's looking good though. Okay, final thing to do around the outside and possibly the inside a little bit is hit it with this wraith bone to really highlight it. And I think I'm going to leave it there on the outside. I'm happy with that now. That's looking good. Last thing to do might be to just tone that inside down a little bit with a little bit of grey. It's going to be too light, I think. Go back on it with this Mechanicus grey. There, that cold grey is just finishing off the edges of some of these arches, some of this brickwork, just ever so slightly softening my sponge effect further. That's enough. There we go. I don't want to do any more. I don't want to spoil it. Okay. What I think we need now is some runs of water down it and that sort of thing to try and finish it all off. So you can see just a little bit of extra detail is making all the difference here. You can see the runs down the building. I'm going to use something a bit brighter as well. That way you're going to actually see it. You can see it stand out. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the right colour, but it's starting to look the part, that's for sure. Let's use both these colours a little bit judiciously. So what's key here is where we've got lighter areas, we can actually see the runs, whereas if we try to put them on the darker areas, well, we just won't see them. So you can see this face here is a lot lighter. I can easily put a run on this, and you can see it there like that. And it really doesn't have to be done that carefully or accurately. If you take a time to look at old buildings, people didn't paint their weathering on. It's an absolute mess. It's you know, it's all over the shop. So it's doesn't have to be that carefully done. Just a few little bits, you know, and it's making the difference. It's starting to bring it to life, make it look believable. What about inside? Do you need anything inside? Hard to see them inside. It's a bit dark. We need a different colour in that. Let's keep going on the outside, I think. There we are. It's subtle, but it's worth it, I think. Put someone here. And that's it. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we can safely say we are done. So although I finished this in 1 hour, I really would consider this a base texture. I have a feeling that one could spend hours and hours putting little runs of water down the outside, airbrushing finer details, dry brushing some of the keystones and other areas that you really want to enhance. But I am very pleased in what I accomplished in that 1 hour. The Gothic stone, the shadowy corners, the looming arches, it's everything a Batman cellar brawl or a Harry Potter duel in the dark needs. And now it's officially part of our gaming arsenal. From digital file to printed plastic to a finished piece on the table. And a new home for more than a few epic battles. If you enjoyed this terrain speed paint challenge, give the video a like, subscribe for more narrative wargaming and terrain builds, and drop a comment if you've painted Stormcrow terrain yourself. Chris is already printing the next level of the mansion, and I can't wait to feature that in an upcoming video. So until then, I'll see you on the battlefield.